Heat team. But this Heat defense was swarming all night, and the Knicks just could not adjust. They kept it close and
Yeah.
even found a window to take this thing in the end. Just lack of execution down the stretch. Questionable lineup and rotation decisions by the coach, which we'll touch on, and just timely hoops by the Heat allowed them to take this game 109-103. Knicks fall to the Heat in this Sunday matinee. JLs, what were your thoughts on this game, man?
Man, I thought the first quarter started, and I was like, "Oh, this is the type of game it's gonna be."
Yeah.
You were off to the
Julius and
races.
Bullock had it cooking. Julius and Bullock had it
Yeah,
cooking.
exactly. Bullock had 6 threes in the first half.
Yeah.
Knicks won a 15-5 run in the first quarter, but then the Heat turned it on. They go 20-8, and then next thing you know, we're in a fight for our lives in the second half. And you realize, you know what? It's cool that Bullock he had 6 threes in the first half, but he finished with 7. So like as usual, the Knicks run out of bullets, and the Heat win the game, man. You know what? We kept it close. We had some nice moments from the second unit. They tracked quickly. He made some nice passes out the trap, and we saw Obi Toppin go off for a few points in a row. But at the end of the day, we couldn't keep up with the Heat's offense. I feel like their offense, man, they're so tough to stop because they just constant movement, constant passing, constant cutting, and then they have shot makers on top of that. And then when you add Jimmy Butler to the mix, who didn't really play well, but he's still just
effective.
Effective. Then it's hard just overcome and beat that team.
Agreed. Ash, what you think about this game today?
Yeah, I mean, agree with all of JLS's points. And as you guys know, I know this team very well. I've covered them for over a year now. And one of the most dangerous things about the Heat, and don't let their record fool you, is that they have shooters. And at any given time, that ball can be in anybody's hand. And that ball more than likely is going to fall wherever that shot is shot. So I think today the Knicks realize that you cannot turn the ball over against a team like Miami, because they will go ahead and take advantage of it every single time. And yes, there were opportunities that they had to go ahead and take advantage of turnovers, and shots just weren't falling. But the thing about having shooters is shooters shoot, and eventually those shots start to fall. And then, you bring Jimmy Butler back into the mix, who again didn't have that impressive of a game from a scoring standpoint, only 17 points. He wasn't the leading scorer on the floor, but what he does when he's out there is he facilitates the game. He's making sure the pace is going. He's making sure guys are doing what they need to do. And more importantly, he's really crafty at getting to that line and getting those free throws and helping his team any way that he can. So I think you just showed today just how well of a machine, a well-oiled machine Miami really is when they have all of their pieces. And Tibbs is going to have to make some serious adjustments, and I think he will for the rematch on Tuesday, because now he has some film on what they look like when they're a complete unit, which, we haven't seen from them in a while because of COVID and other things. But yeah, they're definitely going to have to make the adjustments. The shots were falling for New York. Early, it was a back and forth. We were trading baskets, trading leads. Yeah, but we ran out of time, and at the wrong time.
I would say my positives once again, Julius Randle, 26 points, double-digit boards, 7 dimes, came to play. Heat threw everything at him, whether it was Bam, Iggy, Iguodala, or Jimmy Butler. Julius was just in his bag, very patient, very good from the 3-point line when we needed it. I thought him and Reggie Bullock, really had great chemistry going in the first half, man. Bullock's energy was prolific on both ends of the floor. Shout out my guy Papa Left. Papa Left bet Jay Ellis yesterday on a
I thought about that
for Reggie Bullock hitting over 5 3-pointers in the game, and I told him take the under. He missed it yesterday. Today, Reggie Bullock 7 3-pointers in the game. But that bet was not available to be made today. So sorry. Sorry to Papa Left, man. But on the downside, obviously RJ had an off night tonight. And give credit to the Heat, because Spoelstra, he's an excellent coach. And he's an excellent coach at making adjustments. We knew that over the past few games where RJ was red hot. He was coming off of that pick and roll, getting to the nail, getting downhill, and either distributing for the Gotham Mob or able to finish or draw the foul. The Heat did an excellent job by blitzing him, trapping him on those pick and rolls, pushing him away from the basket, and taking away his driving lanes, and also some of his passing vision as well. I didn't think that Tibbs and the Knicks did a great job adjusting to that all night.
Yeah.
I thought Quickly did a good job on that one play where he got it to Taj, who was standing there, came back to the ball, in the middle of the court. Taj got it and then got it to Obi, who slammed it in. But I think all night, the Heat did a great job of really trapping the Knicks ball handlers and getting them off their rhythm. And I think that really was a big, big impact in this game and the lack of adjustments thereof. Go ahead, Jay.
No, I agree with you, man. It put even more pressure on the Knicks to make shots in the second half. And I think that's a lot of reason why you didn't see RJ in the second half, because he thought maybe we just need more shot makers, So let's try something else. And RJ ended up sitting. And then, we didn't really answer the bell. We tried the best we could. We cranked the defense. It was a slug match. It
was a battle, man. It was a battle all day. Yeah. Several lead changes, for sure.
Yeah.
And I think...
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm just saying, if you look through the stats are like 1 and 2 points apart with percentages, rebounds, assists, all down the line. It was a slugfest, but the Heat edged out the win. So
yeah, man. Go ahead, Ash.
I think also this speaks to the difference in coaching with the Heat and with the Knicks, because if you look, Coach Spo is, I think, super underrated with a lot of, people, fans in the NBA. They think, he's a puppet and things like that. He's an extremely well-versed coach. He knows when to make the adjustments. He knows when to make the proper adjustments. He knows his team. He knows the inner workings of his team. And that's where we as fans, Knicks fans, want Tibbs to get. I think, again, speaking to his rotations, they confuse us. It doesn't work with what's happening on the court. It's almost like trying to put a triangle into a square peg. You can keep trying to put it in there. It's not going to go in. It doesn't belong there. So you have to figure out how to adjust when your plan A isn't working. And I think this is what we're still trying to figure out with Tibbs or Tibbs needs to figure out with himself, is exactly how to adjust when what his game plan was is no longer the game plan that's conducive for winning a game.
Yeah.
So
and then he were able to take away our bread and butter, which is getting into the paint, and also Knicks didn't finish too well at the paint. Peyton was back to his bad Peyton bag. Mitch had a couple bunnies, especially down the stretch, that could have helped shift the tides of this game. But just couldn't convert on those. You got to be able to execute, man. And I just thought the decision making down the stretch, whether it was a 5-second violation or trying to avoid another 5-second violation, having to burn your last timeout with 1:48 seconds left, those type of sidelines out of bounds or after timeout execution, you got to get that down. You got to get that down when you're a team like the Knicks. Another questionable portion of the game was we finally got to see Obi start cooking. He gets a drive on Iguodala. He knocks down a 3. They're able to break the trap, and he gets the dunk, timeout, and he's gone. You see Julius back in, which is okay. Julius came back in fine. But then Peyton coming back in and having a lineup of Peyton, Julius, Rivers. I think Burks was the other guard. And then you had Taj. My guy Taj did his numbers. Taj was good in his minutes down the stretch.
Taj was looking all right.
But, I mean, Obi and Quickly was getting us going in that fourth. Momentum, Tibbs. And then all of a sudden you come back with a cold Peyton. And Rivers, the Hudson River, actually has been frozen. It's a pond right now. They ice skating on the Hudson River right now.
That's the real frozen tundra.
That's the real frozen tundra right now.
Yeah.
So I wasn't really feeling that. The RJ thing I was okay with, because he did try to go with his shooters down the stretch with Bullock, Burks, and Quickly, Randall, Mitch. I like that lineup, but I don't know. The rotations down the stretch was kind of questionable.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I've been saying it all year. It's like, I just want equal treatment, man. If the vets have it going, they let them rock. If the young cats got it going, he still ends up pulling them. It's a tough one for me when you pull Obi for Randall, because I understand it a little bit more than a Quickly for Elf, because I just know you just need Elf. You just, like, every time. This is the second day in a row, you guys. He pulled Quickly for our Elf, and then ends up putting Quickly back in anyway.
And Benji puts it back in anyway. He's like, "Oops, my bad. Go ahead."
Exactly. So it's like, let's just cut that step out.
Yeah.
Quickly.
Just keep it consistent.
Just keep it consistent.
Keep it consistent.
But like, if there was a time to leave Obi in, today would be the time.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna super kill him for it today, because Randall just had it going. But it would have been nice to see Obi get some more running when he was getting hot too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I just would have tried it a little bit. You still had Bam and Olynyk out there, and I would have tried it. I would have tried it with Julius at the small ball 5 and keep Obi in there. Obi had it going, man. He had the energy going, and I just thought I didn't like how they took him out. I didn't like how they took him out that game, man.
Yeah, man. 7 points in 9 minutes. Hit a 3 earlier. I'm like, all right, let's see. Maybe he can stretch it for a little bit. Maybe he can get it going. Like, let's. But it's just, I don't know, man. I don't know. Yeah, it's frustrating. I like what Tibbs is doing, but it's just still frustrating.
Yeah.
Yeah, frustrating loss overall, man. But salute to everybody in the chat. Hit that thumbs up button for your squad. Super Bowl Sunday, Knicks go down 109-103 to the Heat. In the midst of this game, well, first off, we heard from last night that Derrick Rose was close to the Knicks. They've since made it official. Derrick Rose is coming back to MSG in exchange for Dennis Smith Jr., and we were told, KnicksFanTV was told it was a 2021 draft pick, and Woj confirmed it was a 2021 second-round pick, so the Charlotte pick. So Dennis Smith Jr., the Charlotte pick in exchange for Derrick Rose. Before we get to the phones, guys, just give me a quick reaction on this trade.
Go ahead, Ash.
I think Payne should be a little bit nervous. Tibbs' real favorite is back in the building. It's the battle of the favorite child, and Derrick Rose will win every single time. I'm not too heartbroken about losing DSJ. I don't know how I feel about losing a draft pick. I think every draft pick counts, especially when you're trying to rebuild. So I'm kind of torn on that. And it is going to be interesting to see who loses minutes and if Derrick Rose gets all those minutes. And knowing Tibbs the way I've known him and the way I've observed him, I think Derrick Rose is going to see a lot of playing time. So.
This one, it bothers me. It does. It just does. I don't like it. I don't like it one bit. Like, we need shooters, and we got another guy who can't shoot, and his game is to go to the basket, and he hasn't been doing that well this year either. Maybe we can, revamp him and revive him, and maybe he can finish at a better rate this year, but he's not playing well. And on top of that, like I said, this is a Tibbs favorite. My fear is now Tibbs has 2 favorites ahead of IQ. and so it's just like, all right, cool. What are we? Where is he going to play? What position is he? Is he playing starting point guard? Is he playing backup point guard? He can't play off guard. That's not his game. So now we're just making IQ a shooting guard.
Yeah. Which I wouldn't mind that. I wouldn't mind that. Some of the times.
Now I want a point guard who can shoot. CB, I've been wanting a point guard who can shoot on this team for years. We finally have a point guard who can shoot, and we're going to make him a shooting guard.
I actually did not think of it like that. I actually went straight to Peyton, like, oh, Peyton's in trouble. But now you have 2 favorite children. The third child is going to be screwed, and the third child's IQ. So, yeah, I'm kind of annoyed now that he just pointed that out. So, thank you, Jay Ellis.
I would say this. On the price, I'm okay with it. DSJ wasn't going to be back here anyway. The second-round pick, it is what it is. If you look at what Tibbs is doing right now, all these kids are not going to make it, period. Whether it's playing time or even just being on this roster. The cream of the crop is going to play. And so, the second-round pick, losing that, it could be a high one, especially depending on where Charlotte finishes, but you got to pay to play. And if DSJ is going to be rendered useless, you got to give Detroit a little bit of value, or what they perceive as value. They wanted Knox, according to Ian Begley, and the Knicks balked at that, and any first-round pick consideration. So cost-wise, I'm okay with it. I think it's a low-cost move, a low-risk move. In terms of the playing time, we'll see who's impacted. To me, I'm looking right at Austin Rivers, because from the tunnel vision and never finding Obi or anybody to the over-dribbling and not doing his job, which is to get buckets, I think he could set him aside. And as Jay Boogie, I talked to Jay Boogie last night, and as Jay Boogie said, you could throw that backcourt of D Rose, IQ out there. They'll push the pace up for you on that second unit, which is very important for this Knicks team, who's always last in pace and never gets out in transition. Maybe D Rose helps activate Obi a little bit. It's not the perfect Band-Aid to what we need, but maybe having them as 2 ball handlers out there, that can push the pace a little bit, give IQ a chance to play off ball a little bit. You add in Burks, 2 3-pointers at the wing. I'm not sure, to me, it's not a terrible idea as long as IQ's minutes are not impacted. I look at Rivers, give Rose Rivers his minutes. Rose has been coming off the bench for Detroit.
Yeah, but they traded him because he doesn't want to come off the bench. I mean, they traded him because because they're prioritizing the youth.
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen, obviously, yes, he could start. I think he's more likely to close in certain stretches. It's we have to see how Tibbs plays this out. We got to see how Tibbs.
But then that also is a big if it doesn't affect IQ's minutes, if it doesn't affect IQ, if it doesn't affect his growth. I think the issue is, and I think what I'm worried about is you've already seen how Tibbs' stubbornness reflects his rotation and his distribution of playing time. So now that you bring in another favorite of his, I'm worried, Jay Ellis is worried that favoritism is going to continue and it's going to now go ahead and benefit D Rose as well. So
Bingo.
I think it's more of a possibility that it's going to affect IQ and it's going to affect him negatively because now, unlike before, where Tibbs didn't have these options. He had IQ, he had Payton. Now you bring D Rose in the mix. Now, he thinks I'm rolling in shooters. I don't got to play all of them. Shoot, let D Rose shoot. No. I'm very like, I don't know.
I'm more than happy to join both of you on that train. I just got to see how it plays out. And you're right. Tibbs is showing us that it's probably going to lean towards your take, Ashley and Jay Ellis, in terms of leaning towards those guys more and a little bit less of IQ. But let's see how it plays out. That's all I'm saying. For the price, I'm not mad at it. Right now, they're fighting for the playoffs. We know that. They want to win. This was a low cost, low risk move, in my opinion, based on how this team is playing. It's not a perfect option. No, he does not space the floor for us. He does not. He's going to drive to the hoop. He's going to finish better than Payton. I'll tell you that much. And
can you say that much? His numbers aren't better than Payton's this year finishing at the hoop.
I don't know. I don't know what you can say anymore.
We'll double check on that.
I know that's what facts.
At the rim. What's his percentages at the rim this year?
I look because I talked about this on the pod last week, and he's 10% points lower than Payton was as of last week. I don't know what that point is this week because he's played some more games, but he was not finishing at the rim at a higher rate. Payton was actually finishing at a higher rate.
Well, I gotta look into that. We gotta look into that, Jails. I trust him more than Payton. Put it that way. I trust him more than I would trust Alfred Payton.
I trust older Derrick Rose. Is he still in there?
Let's get to the phones, man. See what the people got to think about this. Ari's in the building. Ari, what's going on, bro?
Hey, what's up, guys? How you guys doing? Yeah, tough loss. I want to just touch on two things: the Rose trade and then Obi Toppin. So first, the Rose trade. The New York Knicks didn't trade anyone for Derrick Rose. The Westchester Knicks traded for Derrick Rose. So, I don't see how this is a bad trade at all. We traded a G League player who wasn't part of – he's the only player in the league worse than Frank Ntilikina, and we upgraded at point guard. So I don't see why this is a bad move whatsoever. I think Ashley gave a stat last game where if Elfrid Payton gets 5 field goals or more, the Knicks are like 8-2. Derrick Rose could get 5 field goals in a sweep, even with no knees. The Knicks, we've always needed a point guard. Obviously, he's not Chris Paul. He's not, like an amazing point guard at this stage in his career, but he is an upgrade over Elfrid Payton. I don't care what the numbers say this year. He's definitely better than Elfrid Payton. That's what goes without saying. I'm with everyone else. I think, listen, I think the Emmanuel Quickly thing is something to be concerned above because, you don't know about Tibbs with his rotations. But if he takes away Austin Rivers' minutes and Elfrid Payton's minutes, I think this is a really good move for the Knicks because we traded a G League player. You could always buy another second-round pick, right? You could always buy another second-round pick. And, I just think it's a better move for this team, and I think it's going to help us. I also think it's going to be very important. Derrick Rose is a former MVP, right? Like, he's part of the culture of the team. Like, it's good for Emmanuel Quickly to be around, Derrick Rose. He's now the most respected player on the team by far. he's Derrick Rose, regardless of whether he plays like Derrick Rose of the old or the new. Doesn't matter. You know, he could help Emmanuel quickly and the young guys a lot. You know, he commands the respect of the team. So I like the Derrick Rose move because it's low cost. Now, the one other thing I want to talk about real quickly is this Obi Toppin thing. Listen, man, another 9 minutes. It's unacceptable, all right? I don't care what anyone says, it's unacceptable. And here's the thing, you know, he's not being put, like, you know how Q Rich came on your podcast and was like, you know, it's okay for Emmanuel quickly to come off the bench because, you know, Tibbs is putting him in a position to succeed. And if he was starting, he may not be in that position and the results may be different. So you got to apply that same logic to Obi Toppin, right? And Tibbs is clearly not putting him in a position to succeed. Doesn't play him at all. And when he does play him, he has him standing on the three-point line. This guy, I know the minutes have been like very little, but this guy, there's no, like, in the history of the NBA, 6'9" guys that are as athletic as this guy is, who could stretch the floor like he can, who could pass the ball, are always going to be good. So I don't understand these guys who say that, oh, they think trade Obi, he's going to be bad. This guy is going to be good, all right? I guarantee it, all right? But he's not being put in a position to showcase his abilities. And I think that's a problem. And I think Tibbs needs to figure it out.
I appreciate the call. Definitely agreeing on Obi points. So what's your guys' reaction to his D Rose comments?
It only works if Elfrid doesn't play. It only works.
That's not happening. That's not happening.
And that's why and that's not happening. Like that's to me that's the caveat. It only works if Elfrid doesn't play. And I know Elfrid's going to play. Because you can say D Rose is better than Elf, and you can say that, you know what, he hasn't played better than Elf this season, but maybe you can bring it out of him because it's Tibbs. Cool, I can get that point too. But we still have Elf here.
Yeah.
And we're not going to bench him, and that's the biggest problem. The biggest problem is who is he taking minutes away from?
I'm looking at Rivers, man. I think overall, yes, D Rose is a better player. Defensively, I think Peyton can still help this team. And still be a better asset than Rose. Yeah. I'm looking at Rivers. At Rivers.
But then the point guard spot, CP. You see what happened when Elf was in the game at the end of the game? They doubled up on Julius Randle, and they got IQ right back in the game at the point guard spot. Are we going to take lead point guard minutes away from IQ? Is that the wisest thing to do?
Yeah.
Was that we'll have to wait and see. I can't guarantee that. That's what I'm saying. That's why I wouldn't put this down just yet. It's a low risk move. It's a low cost move. What were we doing with Dennis Smith Jr. and a second round pick? Nothing. I
don't care. It has nothing to do with
How is it going to hurt this team?
It has nothing to do with Dennis Smith Jr. It's nothing to do with it. It's about the guard coming in and the minutes that has to be distributed between him, Elfrid, and Emmanuel quickly. It has nothing. It has nothing to do. I don't really care that Dennis Smith Jr. is involved.
I mean, for me, it's also, I think, you know, you're looking at Rivers, yes, but I also think Rivers has the benefit of being under the radar right now. You know, Tibbs is not really looking at him to contribute to the game because he's so hot and cold. So to take minutes from him would just be, you know, for what? He's hardly on the court as it is now. So for me, my concern is the same concern I have with Obi. We complain about Obi not being able to develop because he doesn't get the minutes. Now, if you bring Derrick Rose into the situation, I don't care how you want to say it. If you want to believe it, the facts are the facts. Tibbs is going to want to play that man. He didn't bring him to New York to just sit him on the bench. He's going to want to play him.
No doubt about it.
And he's going to want to play him a lot, just like he plays Peyton more than I think that he should. And my concern is that's going to hinder Quickly's development because right now his trajectory is perfection. I mean, yes, today wasn't his best game in terms of, you know, comparisons to the other two games that he's had so far. He didn't put up that many points, but it is what it is. Listen, he is going to be, I said last show, I said it the show before that, I'll say it again. The future of this franchise, along with RJ Barrett and Obi, if that ever manifests itself. My concern is just, are we going to hinder that development if we take him out of the equation that he's in now? I just don't know I don't know how Tibbs is going to do it. I just don't. And I'm concerned, to say the least.
Time will tell, man. Time will tell. Papa left. What's going on, bro? How you feeling?
I'm doing great. You know, it was 1,600 people in here yesterday, and last time I checked, it was 800. But it's hashtag buy the dip,
That's a fact.
hashtag all
Buy the
72
dip.
gang, KnicksFanTV to the moon.
Hell yeah, you know what I mean.
You know, I want to speak about Tibbs. I want to speak about RJ and a little bit about D Rose. So first on Tibbs, he kind of reminds me of like Herman Edwards, Rex Ryan kind of guy, where it's like he comes in, motivates the guys. Guys love playing for him, but ultimately, when it comes down to, remember Herman Edwards, he could never figure out when to call a timeout. Rex Ryan got outclassed by Bill Belichick. And, you know, it's great that we got the motivation in our culture right now. It's great that we got defense, grit. And I'm not taking any of that away from Tibbs. But I am going to be realistic with it and say, you know what else is motivating? When a Jimmy Butler or a Duncan Robinson or Bam Adebayo can look over at their coach, Eric Spoelstra, and know that he's putting the work in that film room, and he's put them in the best opportunity out of a timeout into a game at halftime. He is just a really good coach. He took a lot of heat from winning with the Big Three, but he got back to the finals without LeBron. So he is a very good coach, and you saw. I hate to say it because he's much younger than him, but he kind of outclassed him today. He has a better roster, but you know, down by 3, end of the third quarter, we have Alec Burks playing as like some showcase end of the quarter player, and he dishes it off to Austin Rivers, the coldest player on the team. Yeah. It's an empty possession. Then down by 4 with 1 minute and 55 seconds left, we call timeout and can't even inbound the ball, call another timeout just to run a panic Alec Burks handoff to Randall for a corner.
Yeah.
So it's frustrating to watch that, but we'll take it. We'll take it after Fizdale. We'll take it after Hornacek, Fisher. You go down the line. We'll take it this year, but going forward, that needs to change. That needs to get better. As far as RJ getting minutes taken away from him from Alec Burks and Austin Rivers, CP, I know you were cool with that. I'm kind of cool with it, but I don't
Rivers.
buy. Alan Hahn said in the postgame that it was about him being tired. I don't really buy that. I would rather see, if we're going to lose, I would rather see RJ on the court, you know? And as far as D Rose goes, I was thinking while Ari was talking and the value of the second pick and Dennis Smith Jr., the way that Leon Rose flipped, who was the guy from Utah, the power forward, Ed Davis. The way that he flipped Ed Davis, it might be a conspiracy here, but I'm thinking to myself, the reports were that the Clippers were looking at him and that other contenders were looking. I don't know if that was real or not, but let's say Rose comes in here and plays with a competitive team. You got Nick Young, Donovan Mitchell, Kawhi Leonard, you name them. All the players around the NBA are talking about the Knicks. They're watching us. If Derrick Rose plays well, it's possible that they could move him and another rotational veteran that's playing all these minutes for a first-round pick. You don't know.
Possible.
So I was thinking about that. But
Possible.
Derrick Rose, just real quick on his impact on the game. End of the game, you saw it tonight, and you saw it against the Bulls, the first of the back-to-back. We don't have a guy who we can just trust to get the ball, handle the ball, have a good possession. And I would primarily like that to be Quickly's job, because it seems every time he gets the ball, like, all right, so he gets trapped. He'll learn how to beat a trap. He's not deficient with his handle that bad. He'll learn how to beat it. You see he's learned how to beat it. But if Rose is going to be there and kind of show Quickly how to do that, I think it's a decent move, not the move that I would have wanted. I'm on the J. Ellis Ash kind of train there.
Yeah.
And but it's, you know, I'll be very honest. I would have took a 6-point loss today with effort. You know what I mean? I have to be very honest. So I really wanted to win, but before 1 o'clock, 6-point loss to the Heat, a team that's desperate. I think we're going in the right direction. So I'd love to hear your thoughts. Yeah. Have a good day, guys.
Appreciate it. No, it certainly wasn't for a lack of effort by any stretch.
No,
I just think, you know, as he said, I think Spoelstra outdid Tibbs today, and Spoelstra adjusted well to what the Knicks were doing well on this current stretch, and Tibbs, I don't think he adjusted. You know, I think that's basically what it came down to.
Yeah, and
yeah.
You know,
No, go ahead.
No, and just that team has just been together longer too. I think that has a lot to do with it, man. Like the Heat have been together for a year, went to the championship, and now they're coming back. And it's been a slow build for them, but like we said, Jimmy Butler just got back, so it makes it a whole lot different. It's a whole lot of different team when your leader is back and everybody's back in their normal roles again. So I think it's a combination of both.
Yeah. And I mean, I know because during the off season, during training camp, if you want to call it that, I remember speaking to Coach Spo, and I asked him one of the questions I asked him was about his coaching method. How do you kind of prepare yourself after having the run that you just came off of? How do you prepare yourself? And one of the things that he said that stuck out to me was, he said, this is not verbatim, but he said along the lines, my way is not always the best way. And I know that. And that's the difference maker in a coach. And I think that's what we're waiting to see from Tibbs, is the realization that his way is not the best way. That sometimes the best coaches know when to just, you know what? I tried it my way. It's not going to work. Let me try it this way. So I think that's what we need from Tibbs. And then speaking with the D Rose thing, his last point was he would love to see Quickly be the closer. Me too. But here's the thing. I just don't think that that's going to be Quickly with D Rose part of this team, because you've already seen how Tibbs not only one has favorites, but two, how he has this love affair with vets. We talk about Reggie Bullock. We talk, about Julius Randle getting the minutes over Obi Toppin, or Obi Toppin not getting nearly half the amount of minutes that Julius Randle does, his inability to want to play them together. So why would you think that when Derrick Rose comes, that Quickly would even have the opportunity to be the starter? He's going to watch D Rose. I think the closer. He'll watch D Rose do it. But he's not going to have the opportunity himself.
This game was perfect opportunity here. Down the stretch, he went with Quickly to close. He went with Burks. He went with Bullock. Surrounded Julius with his shooters, and even took RJ out the game. Like I said, we got to wait and see what happens when Rose comes here. Quickly still may get that opportunity to close games depending on the situation. And all you got to do is hope that Tibbs as a coach can recognize that and make the proper adjustments when needed.
But listen to what you just said.
You got to hope.
That's what I said, but that's what I've been saying. You got to wait and see.
No, but listen to what you just said. You hope that he makes the proper adjustments. We've seen his repertoire. We've seen how he maneuvers, how he operates. So it's not that, JLS and I are hating on Tibbs. I said it, and I'll say it again. I'll keep saying it. He has been a defensive angel for this team. This team is night and day from where we were last season. And I credit all of our success to him and his ability to speak to these guys and to kind of get them in a winning mindset, a winning mentality, and implement whatever he is implementing in practices, in meetings to these guys. I give him all that credit. But I've seen also, if it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's a duck. Like, the pattern is there. And you're asking him basically, or you're asking us to hope that the pattern breaks when D Rose gets there. And I just don't think it's going to. I think it's only going to get worse.
Somebody shows you who they are. My mama says, believe them.
Facts. Maya Angelou says that. When someone shows you who they are, believe them.
And do you believe the record that we are currently sitting at and the position that we are currently in?
Yes.
That is on the coach.
I believe the
defensive
record.
effort to the player development of IQ in terms of putting him in situations to succeed. So I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. That's all I'm saying. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. Now, after I see how this plays out over, 20 games or so, then I'll say, you know what? This was a boneheaded move. This was a mistake. But on the surface, for what we paid, and to me, he's better than what Peyton can give us, I'm all right with it. It was a low risk move. DSJ buy. I'm not gonna trip until I see how it plays out on the court. That's all I'm saying.
Let me ask you this though. Why do you think, and again, just so the chat, if you just got in the chat, I can go ahead and, reiterate what I said. I think Coach Tibbs has been a blessing for this team. Not going to take that away from him. I think that we have our guy. I am not here for the fire Tibbs talks. I think it's ridiculous. I think this is the coach that you will see with this team for a few seasons. I think he's done more good than bad. Let me make that point. He's done more good than bad. I'm going to say it again.
We'll come at you for criticizing. You gotta say
but patterns But patterns are patterns, and the pattern shows what it shows. So why are you so optimistic about the minute D Rose, a player who he has a long-standing relationship with, is going to go ahead and shake that pattern up, and you're going to see a brand new Tibbs when he gets there? Why are you so optimistic
It's not
about
necessarily a brand new Tibbs. I think quickly standing with the team is going to be consistent to what we've seen now. And that is he's going to bring him off with the second unit and potentially close him depending on what the circumstance calls for. Today he closed. In the Hawks game he closed. Quickly has had opportunities to do so. So all I'm saying is, yes, Rose could end up having that role. I'm not saying that he can't. And as you said, Tibbs' pattern, his proclivity to playing these vets is certainly evident. But what I'm saying is Quickly can still get his chances. And we just got to wait and see how it plays out. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
We gonna see.
Back to the phone. Salute to everybody in the chat once again. Hit that thumbs up button for your squad. CP, Ashley Moss, Jay Ellis on this Super Bowl Sunday matinee. Knicks lose 109-103 to the Miami Heat. What do you guys think, man? Leave us some comments on this D-Rose debate. Leave us a comment on the game. What do you guys think about it? Let's get back to the phones, hear what the people got to say. Chris from Queens. Chris, what's going on?
What's going on, CP, Jay Ellis, Ashley? Big fan of the show. First time calling. Everybody hit that thumbs up button.
Yes,
but
sir.
I wanted to talk about that D-Rose trade. So far, not really feeling it. I'm definitely hate the trade, man. I think that I agree with Ashley and Jay Ellis that it's just the opportunity cost. It's not the assets. It's not the even the minutes. It's just a role that we want to see quickly. And like this year, if we can make the playoffs, great. That's the icing on the cake. It's about developing quickly as an on-ball player. I don't think he's the point guard of the future, but like Ashley said, he's definitely a piece of the future. Yeah. And I would argue on his best night is probably more effective than Rose and Payton put together. I think that has to be the focus and the primary focus. And the last couple games, just when Payton wasn't good today, but the last couple games was good. We see IQ not playing, and then having the combination of Payton, Rivers, as well as now Rose. I just think it ices IQ out, and I think that's something that they need to focus on for the rest of the season. But I appreciate y'all taking my call. Enjoy the Super Bowl.
Listen, man, if your coach is going to ice out one of your best three-point shooters on the team and a guy that can draw the fouls and orchestrate the offense like IQ can, then he's not the guy for us. What I see is that he's putting him, again, in situations that he can excel in. He's a rookie. He's far and away exceeded expectations thus far, and as you see, this coaching staff is bringing him along patiently as they continue to win games with what they have. So that's not going to change no matter what trade you make or don't make. What I'm seeing here is a guy that, to me, is a better option than Payton, that could close or could come in with Quickly as a two-guard backcourt.
Yeah, and I guess what I'm seeing is, numerous times in the fourth quarter, especially, we'll see IQ get taken out of the game for Elfrid Payton, and I'm imagining that times two.
Well,
and then also all of the callers who are for the D Rose situation. Again, I'm not saying, and I think JLS is saying the same thing. I'm not saying we gave up anything astronomical for him. Would I have preferred to give up a pick when I'm trying to rebuild? No, but like whatever. It's a second round pick is what it is. But nobody is answering my question on why people are giving Tibbs the benefit of the doubt to be different than what we've seen him to already be. That's basically like you're dating a guy who's constantly cheating on you. And you know what? He keeps telling you, I'm going to stop cheating. And you're like, okay, you're going to stop cheating. He's already shown he's a cheater. Why do you think he's not going to continue to cheat on you? His pattern is there. What makes you think he's going to be any different? I guess that's where I'm a little apprehensive and confused on where the sudden faith in him to just basically flip a light switch and be a different coach when D Rose gets there. It's only going to be worse. I just don't get it.
Let's get to the phones. Let's hear from a guy who likes this trade. No, only because I want to get more. There's a lot of calls waiting, so I want to get to the people real quick.
I feel you.
Nick from Connecticut, what's going on?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear, bro. What's going on?
All right. Hello, everybody. I just want to talk about the D Rose trade and how I feel about it. First off, I kind of want to say that I'm liking it so far. I'm liking it. I think the reason why we made the trade was because I think that he's trying to replace Elfrid Payton. Now, I think that you might think I'm crazy, but here's how I'm thinking about it. I think that you know how Emmanuel Quickly, he's coming off the bench. They're not trying to put a lot of pressure on him. They're trying to put him in places where he can succeed as the point guard. And I think that he's stuck in a corner with Elfrid Payton as the starter because he really doesn't have any options to go to because he obviously doesn't trust DSJ or Frank. Now, who does he trust? Derrick Rose, the guy that literally was running his system in Chicago. I think that he's just trying to replace Payton. Ian Begley was reporting that they have received interest for Elfrid Payton, so maybe they ship him off to a contender. He did say that a contender was interested in him. So maybe Derrick Rose becomes the starter and they continue to ease in quickly off the bench. And I think that's kind of how I'm looking at it. But another thing that I was interesting, another caller said, was since they acquired Rose using cap space, they can trade him again at the trade deadline. So
Possible.
They could, send him off elsewhere if he plays well. And Leon Rose did do the flipping to get up to pick 25 to get quickly. So maybe they'll do the same thing with Derrick Rose. I think that's another option that they might do. But I'm liking it. I think Derrick Rose is better than Elfrid Payton. And as you said, CP, I really don't think it's a big, a big investment. I mean, it's just Dennis Smith Jr., who wasn't really doing anything. He was kind of wasting our roster space.
Yeah.
And the second-round pick, I know they're important, but at the end of the day, they're very hard to get a lot of great players there. So I think it's a worthwhile move, and I trust Tibbs, so I think we should give it a shot.
Appreciate the call, man. Appreciate the call. Let's go to Zay from Maryland. Zay, what's going on?
Hey, what's going on, everyone? How you feeling?
Good, bro. How you feeling today?
Good. So, in my opinion, with the game, I think this game, it was a perfect opportunity for kind of what I said yesterday. When the back cut with Obi from Quickly, that's like a perfect way to bust open the zone, right? So we could have kept the lineup that can kind of continue to go against the zone. So that would have been a perfect opportunity to play Randall at the 5, Quickly, and Obi at the 4, because they had Bam defending Randall anyways, and Bam still was getting cooked. So that was like a perfect opportunity to do a small ball where Obi could have stayed in, Quickly could have stayed in, and then we could have been better offensively. So that's my opinion on the game. As far as the trade, CP, I agree with you. I think Ashley and Jay Ellis, the negative Nancy's, about the trade and kind of just writing off Tibbs. My big opinion is I think that Tibbs is a trust guy. If he trusts you, he's going to play. He has not had trust in the bench because the bench is not consistent when it comes to scoring. At the beginning of the season, he did play the bench a little bit more, but there's been games where we've lost the lead, kind of keeping the bench in too long. Majority of it is off defense, but then also we get stalled out on offense. So I think D Rose being in kind of helps Quickly, because I think if he has a solid point guard, a guard rotation of Quickly and D Rose kind of going at the other team, I think as long as the points are stacking up on the second in the bench point, I think he'll keep the bench in a lot longer. So I think Quickly will get a lot more run with someone like D Rose next to him. But the thing is, if we're losing leads, he's going to pull everyone quick and go back to the starters. So I think it's an opportunity to where the bench can get a little bit more time if we're being able to keep the leads that we're getting, that the starters are getting.
It's a fact.
So that's my opinion. I think it's not going to hurt anybody's minutes, but probably Rivers.
And maybe even Peyton, and you hope it's Peyton as well. Now, negative Nancy's, what would you guys like to say to Zay?
Why are we negative Nancy's? Because we're just realistic. I don't understand why that's being negative. Listen,
we too real.
I just go by pattern, and the pattern is there. And I think I'll keep saying it. I just think that you guys are giving Tibbs the benefit of the doubt to change when somebody he favorites and he enjoys coaching is going to now be in his rotation. Why you think he's going to go ahead and make a difference in how he coaches? I don't know. I mean, we're gonna have to wait and see. Obviously, I'm not a psychic. JL is not a psychic. We could be completely wrong, but I don't think that I am. I think it's gonna play out exactly how I'm saying it's gonna play out, and then that's gonna be a whole different situation on our hands. So we're gonna have to wait and see. I mean, there's no point in beating a dead horse, really.
Hey, I'm just looking at the minute distribution. I'm looking at, quickly playing 15 minutes in the last few games. A game. I'm looking at, these rookies who are, supposedly rookie of the year honors, who are scoring as much as Quickly, but Quickly is playing 10 less minutes than that. And I'm looking at, the patterns, man. I'm just looking at the substitution patterns in Quickly and thinking how hesitant he is to play people who are obviously, to me, better than what's on the floor. And when I look at all of that and then see another veteran entered into the mix, it gets me worried. Now, like I said earlier, if Elfrid Payton is not involved, then it's a different story. You know what I'm saying? If it's just D Rose and Quickly playing, fine. But I want Quickly being on ball. I don't want him off ball at this point, because I still feel like we need a floor spacer. We need a floor spacer at the point guard spot. We have floor spacers at the shooting guard spot already. It doesn't make sense to me to add another guard who can't shoot, who's a point guard. NBA teams don't have, 2 shooters on the floor. They have 4. And I feel like we're starting to have pieces to resemble an actual NBA team, and we're not using them properly. And that's my concern.
Time will tell, man. Salute to everybody in the chat. Once again, hit that thumbs up button for your squad. CP Ashley, J. Ellis on this Sunday matinee. Knicks go down 109-103, man. What you guys think about the game? Leave us a comment in the chat. If you guys are new in the chat, leave us a hashtag new, and we will shout you guys out. And also, it's been official. Derrick Rose is on his way back to the Knicks in exchange for Dennis Smith Jr. and a second-round pick in 2021, the Charlotte second-round pick. Official. Let me salute some super chats in here. First Lady of Sports says Eric Spoelstra is a master at putting together a game plan a la Bill Belichick. He was not going to let Randall be a point forward. All Knicks shooters were double teamed. Chuck D says this was a culture game. We getting it. We learned to get them back. It was veteran fest. Spo is master teacher. RJ was off it. It happens. Miami is a model to follow. Chuck D also says, to the trade Julius Talkers, this was a showcase for Riles. He would get Randall, make him a Hall of Famer, get 2 rings, and whip our asses with him until he's like 35, like IG or David West. Riley's watching our impatience. Julius had it going, man. No doubt about it. Julius was in his bag, and especially against the defenders that the Heat were throwing at him. I thought this was one of his best games all season. No doubt. 26, 13 boards, 7 dimes. Can't say enough about Julius's contributions, guys.
Yeah, for sure, man. He was getting beat up pretty hard all game, and he still was able to kind of almost do what he wants to, man.
Yeah.
If we get shooters around Julius Randle, we'll be great.
Make sure you guys go ahead and vote Julius Randle for the All-Star game, guys. Hashtag Julius Randle, hashtag NBA All-Star game that may or may not be played depending on how people, and I say people, I mean LeBron James feels about it. So
well, between the whole LeBron thing and then, what happened with KD the other day with him being in the game, out the game, in the game, out the game, to me, I want to see Julius make it, and whatever financial incentives comes that his way, he's definitely earned it and deserves it. But them actually playing the game is just completely pointless and counterproductive, especially when all these rules that they make up as they go. It seems you play a game for 48 minutes and then you can't dap each other up after the game. You got to put your mask on the bench, and it's just they're all over the place, man. I'm not sure. So to have this game in Atlanta, city that's going to be wide open, they're going to create their own All-Star weekend. Please believe it. I just think it doesn't really make any sense.
Yeah, Atlanta is wild, man. Atlanta's the only Atlanta and Miami. I feel like one of the 2 places that are out here that's still going like nothing is happening. So it's a risk. Definitely, for sure. I mean, the NBA gonna have to be especially careful on what and where these players are going, what these players are doing.
Facts.
Almost like babysitter.
They gotta have Magic City. They need Secret Service at Magic City. Front door, back door, side door, everything.
Yeah, Adam Silver has to be there. Has to.
Facts.
It's also just a lot of contradictions, like you said, CP. I mean, you can't swap jerseys at the end of the game, but you can play 45 minutes of basketball. Then
Battle
you
in the
can't,
post, everything.
yeah, then you can't, you can't have your mask off. You can't have fans in the arenas, but then the players can go ahead and travel to U.S. territory during All-Star break if they are not in the All-Star game. You're postponing game because of contact tracing, and you're pulling guys out 3 quarters in after he's already played a predominantly 75% of the game anyway. But you can go ahead and have an All-Star game in Atlanta, a city that basically has no regulations. I mean, it's just out of control. And then on top of that, just from a player standpoint, these guys are playing on a shortened turnaround. I mean, LeBron and the Lakers and the Heat, they were in the bubble the longest. I mean, these guys literally had no training camp. They had no off season. They're back playing basketball. Yes, it's a shortened season, but this All-Star break is a much needed rest for a lot of these guys.
Let them rest and chill with their families.
Just let them rest. Figure out how to do it. The NFL did the Pro Bowl in Madden. Have LeBron and them play 2K or something, and still give guys the accolade of making a Pro Bowl. I mean, making an All-Star game. I mean, it just seems that like the NBA is just all over the place, and unless it benefits them, they don't really want to deal with it. It's a mess. It's just messy. Like,
yeah, I agree, man. I agree. JL, you had something?
No, you hit the nail on the head.
Okay.
I'm just agreeing to the Sweeney Pooh post up there. It's pretty much what I'm saying.
Yeah,
what we're saying.
And for people saying, "Oh, well, LeBron's been to like 10." LeBron's not the only one who had an issue with it. De'Aaron Fox came out and said it's stupid. Giannis came out and said it was stupid. LeBron came out and said it. So it's not just LeBron and the top tier, if you will, of the NBA community. Players all over are like, I'm good on not having this right now. I don't have the energy in me to do this year. Like, maybe we can do it. Why not do it at the end of the year when maybe things are a little bit different and have like a whole weekend or so. I don't know. Like, you don't have to do it right this second. Like, just wait. Like, relax. It's okay.
It's ridiculous, man. Salute to everybody in the chat once again. Hit that thumbs up button for your squad. Salute to Murder Jim Quimby. He's #new. Isaiah Burdett, what's going on? The freaking Rican in here, team #new. What's going on? Yeah, it's a nice name, right? the freaking Rican. What's going on? Salute to everybody, man. Navy Blue 76 says LaJulius Randle is in his bag. Moises Roman says, loving what you guys are doing. Salute to Moises Roman. And my guy Chuck D, the rhyme animal, is in the chat.
Sir.
In the mosh pit, going at it with the fans. So salute to you, CP the artist. What's going on? Papa left in the chat as well. Yeah, so Schwinny says his thoughts on the trade. It's a value prop. It's fine. Turning dead DSJ money in a second. I suspect we weren't going to use. Looks destined to be mid-round. Is okay. I'm all right with that. And he says, number 2, it can be fine for the Knicks depending on whose minutes and role gets cut. That's all. And that's my whole point. It depends. It depends. Depends. We didn't lose anything on this trade. And we'll see how the minutes get distributed.
Yep. Cheers.
It reminds me of the story of the scorpion and the frog. Y'all ever heard that story? The scorpion and the frog. I'll give you the cliff notes for the people in the chat who haven't heard it. Long story short, the frog asked the frog asked the scorpion, or the scorpion asked the frog rather, to take him across the lake. And he said, sure, I'll go ahead and take you across the lake, Mr. Scorpion. Come on over. Gets to the end of the lake, and you know what the scorpion does? Kills the frog, stings him, and he's dead. And as he's dying,
the frog said, in Tibbs we trust.
It's Tibbs and Scorpion.
As the frog is dying,
he
said,
trust?
Why did you sting me, Scorpion? Why did you do that? And the scorpion said, because I'm a scorpion, and that's what I do. When people show you patterns, believe it. And I'm just going to leave it at that.
Tony G from Queens.
Team Scorpio.
Tony G, what up?
Yo, what up, everybody? Want to shout out to you guys, man. Great job. Been a long time Knicks fan. I go back to the days of watching Pat Cummings playing power forward.
He was trash.
All right, and bum-ass Sky Walker doing what he's been doing, okay? I'm very excited about what it is right now. The Knicks are very competitive, which I appreciate. I love this hard-nosed style of basketball. It's all New York City right now. I'm not worried about who's playing, who's not playing. What I am worried about is seeing a team that can compete and be competitive, and that's what Tibbs has done for the Knicks right now. I'd rather see their development in the playoffs than the regular season, and I'm all for Derrick Rose being here right now. This is the first year, actually, I can actually watch the Knicks regularly on TV again instead of taping the game, DVRing the game, and then watching it up until the point they start losing. So I'm very excited to see what's happening. I love the Derrick Rose trade. I think fans, everybody here needs to have a little patience because I see what he's doing as a coach. As a coach, he's got his footprint on the team. He's putting things around that he likes. Defense is how New York has always won. So the next step now is bringing in players that he trusts and put around. Now, Derrick Rose is going to get some time to see if he can make it happen. It's up to Quickly. It's up to the other guys to keep Derrick Rose on the bench. It's called competition. That's what it is. That's what we're playing for. So we got to make a decision. Either we want this team to be real competitive and go forward and learn that way, or we want to see them keep developing, have these bums that we've had the last 4 years, the first-round picks, sit on the bench and keep disappointing us. So we got to have a decision here. Do we want to win, or do we want to keep getting picks? Do we want to keep developing during the regular season?
Yeah.
Or do we want to get in the playoffs and do some real development? That's what's happening right now. So I do appreciate what I'm seeing them do with Derrick Rose because I don't think they're going to get Levine.
No.
Because they probably want 2 first-round picks and a player that's significant on our team, and I think that would be dumb. So they're doing what they can do until next year comes and we'll see what happens. But if they go to the playoffs and we end up playing the Nets or we end up playing Boston, then we'll really see what this team is made of, more so than waiting for a draft pick, okay? We'll see what we really going to look like.
Appreciate the call, bro.
So
Appreciate the
I'm
call
not going
and
to
the
stay
support,
long.
man. I think the Knicks fan wants to see them make the playoffs with IQ at the helm, because then you get player development and you're competitive, and fighting for a spot. You want to see him go down in a blaze. You want to see him play through his mistakes. The coach is not going to do that, and I've just come to grips with it. You know what I'm saying? I've just come to grips with it. The coach is not going to do that. He's going to lean on his vets. He's going to only put these kids in a box, so to speak. And if he sees, today was prime example. Obi and Quickly had it rolling.
Yeah.
Obi, timeout. Obi's gone.
That's what I'm scared of, man.
Obi's gone. I hear it.
That's the fear, man.
I hear it. But then again, you see Quickly finishing the game. We needed shooters. We needed to catch up with this high-octane Miami offense. So what does he do? He goes IQ. He goes Burks. He sits RJ. He goes Burks. He goes Bullock. Randall, Mitch. That was an adjustment that the coach made, right? He wanted more shooters on the court to try to finish the game that way. And he went that way.
Yeah, but I don't know. It just seems like he hesitated. He hesitates too much for me, man.
Sure.
Sometimes when the decision is obvious, it's weird to me that he doesn't make that decision. Like I guess that's what it is for me.
Yeah.
So it's like when you have two other options now to choose from besides the obvious decision.
Yeah.
Now I'm just like the problem's exasperated by times 2, and I'm just like, I don't know, man. I have to see it. I have to see what he does because what he's shown me thus far doesn't let me know that he's going to choose the right decision time and time again. He might just have Quickly sit the whole game and put him in the last 3 minutes for shooting. I don't know what he's going to do. Like I'm hoping he does the right thing. But I don't know where he's going to go.
I hear that, man. So to everybody in the chat, once again, hit that thumbs up button for your squad. Couple more super chats have come in. Salute to Larry Israel. Says, how many teams in the league have a starting point guard who hasn't made 5 field goals in more than half their games? Nice that we're 9-2 and Peyton gets 5 buckets, but only 11 times. And Peyton today was 3 for 12. 7 points. 7 points, 5 dimes, minus 9 on the court, and missed a ton of gimmies. But that's Peyton for you.
Yeah.
Tim Kim says IQ models his game after Lou Will and CJ, both combo guards. IQ, in my opinion, will be a good shooting guard. I kind of see that as well. I like his abilities as a floor general, but I think ultimately he'll seal it out as more of a combo / shooting guard. Above the Rim says Knox is safe. No wonder Knox was dancing and clapping on the sideline. Never see Knox so happy on the bench since being benched these 5 games. Yeah, him and Theo was in there
Theo
getting it.
dancing together.
Yeah.
Theo's teaching them his new moves.
Theo's influencing everybody on that bench mob, boy.
Yeah, man.
Theo, I never see the guy so happy to never play in a game, boy.
Teaching Knox to whip and Nene and all that.
He looked at the camera. I felt like he looked at the camera one time. He was like, "Still here,
Yes.
loser."
In trade rumors, couldn't be me.
Facts.
Oh, you got traded? Can't relate.
Knox and Pio and Pinson. Dynamic duo, man. Toussaint in Pennsylvania. Toussaint, how you feeling? Oh, what's going on there?
Man, what's going on? Good to hear from you guys. Just a quick overall take from the game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not too upset with the loss. I mean, Miami's a solid team. They've been together as a unit for a little while. So it was good to see the Knicks compete. As far as Tibbs and benching RJ, I'm not really too stressed about it because it's kind of a sign of making an adjustment. Like if somebody's cold, sit them. But what I want to see is him be consistent with everybody in that sense. Where if somebody's cold, sit them. If somebody has the hot hand, playing them. Not really been consistent with everybody when it comes to that. So I would like to see something like that moving forward. But
okay,
as of right now, my biggest concern is when Obi is on the floor. He's always getting missed. He had at least 3 good looks at the rim where he was missed, specifically by Rivers. I feel like Rivers really got to step up his ball movement. And to me, just Rivers and Burke is a little bit redundant.
Yeah,
So
I think so.
I
I
really
appreciate the call, man. I think so. And I think Rivers, his decision making is just bad, man. He turns the ball over a lot, JLs, and overall he's just not in the flow of what we want to do. I appreciate him getting buckets and being a microwave against the Utah Jazz, but overall it's just decision making. He just caught in between. He takes bad shots when he's supposed to be shooting. When he has a good look, he's passing it to Peyton, who can't help us. And missing Obi several times. So, that's why I say if you bring in Rose, Rivers has to take a seat for a little while.
Yeah, man. Like it seems like when he's open, he doesn't shoot, and he'll like dribble until the defense recovers, then shoot a contested shot.
Yes.
And then he'll pass it to the wrong person at the wrong time. And I don't his decision making is all over the place to me. It seems like he passes when he's supposed to shoot, shoots when he's supposed to pass, and dribbles when he's not supposed to. Like, I don't know. Sometimes I don't know what he's doing sometimes. You just hope he gets hot one day and puts us over the hump. And for me, Alec Burks hits shots when he more, so I take it more,
Yeah, I agree, Ashley. Your guy Rivers is just ice cold right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had to throw that application in the trash. I had it on standby just in case, he decided to make his way, finagle his way back, but it's officially in the dumpster. Yeah, I don't know if Rivers is going to get back to what we saw in Utah. I just feel like, there are times where sometimes as a player, you have games that makes people think that, wow, maybe this is who he really is. But I think who he really is who he really shows us more consistently, not who he is every once in a blue moon. And I just don't think he's going to get any better. I don't think he's going to contribute any more than what he's contributing now. Maybe slightly a couple points here and there, maybe an assist here and there. I don't think it's going to be a drastic change from him. I think his role is just kind of set, in what it's set in. And I think that his inconsistency is unfortunate. But I just think that when you have him, and we do have him, so I think it is just what it is, really. And I think with Rivers, that's the gamble that you take, is his inconsistency. And some days he's hot, some days he's not, and you just got to go ahead and play it out and hope that Tibbs makes the proper adjustments, that when he's not hot, he's off the court, and when he is hot, he gets more playing time. And that's really all you can do with him. You can't do anything else. He's just too hot and cold.
Toussaint wanted to see some consistency in terms of just holding guys accountable. Tibbs was asked about RJ and the lack of minutes today, and he said he was looking for energy out there. Now, Alan Hahn on the telecast said he felt like RJ didn't have energy. A couple Twitter reactions felt like RJ was a little bit slower on defense. Energy. He got 19 minutes today. Could that be, Tibbs? Seeing that, Miami had defended RJ very well and adjusted well, but also could that have been, a chance for them to kind of cut the minutes a little bit because maybe he didn't have it going. I think that was an interesting development.
Yeah, I mean, RJ's been getting so many minutes so far. I don't really put that much weight on it. You know what I mean? You're right, CP. Like, they were playing him pretty tough on defense. The scouting report is out. He's been having great games since that Brooklyn game, hitting 20 points a game consistently since then. And I think we need a different look today. We need more spot up shooting. We need more guys who can spread the floor. We can make a quick trigger and play on the defensive end. And I feel like the coach tried to, adjust accordingly. It didn't work, but we were in the game, and that's what you can ask for. I'm pretty sure RJ will be back the next game. I'm pretty sure he'll probably play more than 19 minutes next game, and he'll look at some tape and some film and adjust.
It's one of those nights, man.
Yeah,
one of those nights. But give credit to the Heat, man. I thought their defensive game plan all game was excellent.
Yeah.
It's insane.
I thought their scheme was excellent. Give credit to Spoelstra for sure. Totally knocked us off our game. And as you said, the Knicks battled. They battled these guys all night. And a high-powered Miami Heat team. None was going off in that first half. Duncan Robinson got his. Hero had his moments. And obviously Bam is Bam. But, the Knicks hung in there. They hung in there tough and cut it to 2 on a Burks jumper in the fourth. But, I thought, just execution down the stretch, they were sloppy. And Miami also, it just seemed like they also always got those like tips or those fortunate bounces where a ball dribbles out to a guy and he hits a three, or Iguodala dribbles to Iguodala with 2 seconds on the shot clock and he knocks down a mid range. I just felt Miami just had those fortunate bounces all game.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Even the Bam out as a shot when Bam on a bio hit like some crazy falling mid ranger with the time winning down, or Tyler Hero.
I thought you were gonna Kendrick Perkins his name and call him Bam out of the bayou.
Bam out of the bayou.
Out of the bayou.
Bam out of the bayou.
Out of the bayou.
I'm mad Kendrick Perkins is now like an action word.
It's a Google word.
There goes that man Bam out of the bayou.
Out of the bayou.
Come on, bro.
Salute to everybody in the chat. Once again, hit that thumbs up button for your squad. All right, a couple more before we wrap. Super Bowl Sunday coming up, so we'll keep this one a little bit shorter. A couple more. Let me hear from DJ from Shaolin. What's going on?
What's up, y'all? Y'all my favorite big three. You know what I mean? Hit that thumbs up button for your boys.
Yeah.
I want to talk about the game real quick. I only got a problem with a few things. Austin Rivers, I'm looking at you, bro. You missing Obi on lobs. You missing Obi on easy, swing the ball. Stop doing the little hezzy jump fake, bro. That stuff is getting embarrassing. Now, so what I really want to talk about, this Derrick Rose trade. Gotta call out Ashley because, again, for the second day in a weekend, you don't know what you're talking about. Denzel and now this. And JL, if you wanted Killian and you wanted Frank Hyde, but I can't support it. D Rose is an attacking guard, and that's exactly what we need. We need an attacking guard. Last year, the Lakers was trying to trade for this man. This man was averaging 17 and 5 off the bench. And just to make it clear, he's averaging 14 and 5 off the bench, but it's all higher than Elfrid Payton. 40% from the field, 30% from downtown. Elfrid Payton can't hit anything in the snow right now. He'll run into the ocean before he hits anything in the snow. So I don't understand what the problem is. Dennis Smith Jr. is not a part of the future. And on top of that, you got like 30. I think Walt Perrin got 30 second rounders left. You're not giving up nothing. You're not wasting nothing. And on top of that, I'm looking at Austin Rivers. I'm looking at Elfrid Payton. This directly affects them. His minutes are coming from them. And you could say quickly needs development. That's fine. He has to play. But guess what? He's on if you watch this game today, he's on the court with Austin Rivers. He's getting double teamed because they all know he's a shooter. And you can't do anything if you're the point guard and you're the only shooter on the floor. So if D Rose is the attacking point guard and you can have quickly as a spot-up shooter run around
I
J.J. Redick style, Kyle Korver style. If you watch Chicago basketball from back in the day when they had Kyle Korver on the sideline, they had Luol Deng on the sideline. That's Quickly's role. He's not the point guard of the future, but he's a piece of the future. Your
Did you
point
see
guard
what
and your
happened
point guard is
when-
coming in the draft this year.
All right.
The Mavericks pick and the Knicks pick. That's your backcourt of the future. Don't worry. Quickly's gonna be your Lou Will. Don't worry. Just take time.
Yep.
I'm looking at you, Austin. I don't know what you're doing for me. If you're not playing Utah, you're not doing nothing, bro.
I appreciate the
I'll
call,
be
bro.
honest with you.
Go ahead, Jails. Go ahead, bro.
Nah, all I'm saying is this, bro. I'll say it once again. It's not about DSJ. Did I mention?
Yeah, right.
Did
heard
I
a lot of
mention?
this.
Oh my God, we lost DSJ.
Yeah.
That did not come out of my mouth. Fake news. I didn't say that.
Don't mind.
Second, I didn't care. Oh, second round pick. We had like 600 second round picks from all the magic that we did. That's not what I'm talking
How about
about.
the quickly point?
Yeah, I'm talking about the quickly point, man. I'm talking about he said you can't do anything if your point guard is being trapped. We've seen when quickly get trapped, you got open shots, and it's because of his shooter, right? That's what you're supposed to do when you create mismatches and you create advantages. Now, you saw what happened when I'll say this: Derrick Rose can shoot better than Elfrid Payton. 30% from three is still like not.
No, it's not great. It's not great.
It's not
Let's not act like he's getting Chris Paul here or something like that.
Yeah, exactly. So if I would rather have a point guard that can shoot than the lead guard who can't, because if you have a lead guard who can't, you were saying, oh, he'll just drive, he kick it quickly. They'll back off like they're doing Payton. They back off, wait in the paint, and then all that is dead. That's why Payton needs to be taken on the end of games now. So I don't understand. To me, everything you said doesn't make any sense to me. I'm just sorry. Like my concern has always been, what are we doing with Quickly? Is he getting lead point guard minutes? If DSJ is taking Elfrid Payton's minutes and Elfrid Payton is being shipped, that's a whole nother story. But my concern is we're going to have to battle between Elfrid Payton, DSJ, and Quickly.
Ash.
First of all, if you're gonna come for the crown, you better not miss. And he missed. Okay. So I never said that I was heartbroken about losing DSJ. My whole argument was about the concern of how it's going to affect IQ, and I stand by what I said. And what I said is that you're going to bring Rose into the mix, you're going to bring Payton into the mix, who Tibbs already seems to have. One, he has a relationship with D Rose, and he seems to, have a lot of confidence in Payton, which is why he plays him so much. The proof is there. It's not like I'm making it up out of thin air. I watch it every single game. I see him play minutes that he shouldn't be playing, especially when he's inconsistent in a lot of areas where I feel like IQ should be getting more minutes. That's not, a conspiracy. That's the fact. So now you bring Derrick Rose into the mix, who is one, a vet. Two, he's played with Tibbs before, and you're just going to go ahead and have a situation with Payton, but on steroids with D Rose. And I think it's going to negatively affect IQ. And that is my concern. Nobody's saying Derrick Rose can't shoot. Nobody's saying Derrick Rose can't contribute. Nobody's saying Derrick Rose is not going to go ahead and, be a benefit to this team. Nobody ever said that. My concern has always been, what is Derrick Rose addition to this team going to do with Quickly's development as a player and do with Quickly's minutes? That's my concern, and I'm gonna keep saying it, and I stand by it. Yeah. So that didn't answer anything that did not combat any of my points. So
I think, and to just sum up mine, I think, and I hate quoting Isola. I'm not really a big fan of his, but Tibbs wants to make the playoffs. That's what they're playing for. That's what all these guys are fighting for. And, to the dismay of Knicks fans, it's not gonna come at the hands of our young players leading us there. They will have their moments. They will have their opportunities. They will have quick hooks, as we've seen. And so, to me, a low-risk, low-cost move to try to get us there. If that's his goal, I'm in it, and I'll see what happens. Now, if there's situations where I feel like Quickly was needed, and there's been those times, and we brought that up on this show, then I'm more than willing to be a part of that train. I just want to wait and see.
Hold on. Everyone's saying,
what's going on?
Check Woj's tweet. Let me look. I'm looking.
Oh,
Hold
shit.
on.
What's Rose saying? Hold up. What's going on? Is something happening? What's going on? Let's check Woj's latest tweet.
I'm looking at it. I don't see anything latest from Woj. Full story on the Knicks agreeing to trade to reacquire Rose. Got that. I don't.
Is it the actual story? Well, let's click on the story and see what the story's saying.
Yeah, I don't see anything breaking with that. I can look.
Might be somebody capping in the chat. Let's see. Woj is saying Knicks agree to trade. Okay. Let me just pull it up on my share screen here. I hate ESPN's website, man.
I'm like trying to look at Woj tweet Rivers. I don't see anything.
I don't see anything from Woj. The only thing I see from Woj is the latest ESPN article on the Rose trade.
I don't know. People, are y'all trolling? Because it's not funny.
Yeah, I think that was a troll.
Woj firecracker.
March 25th is a trade deadline. So, like, you know, when Papa Left was saying that, you know, it could be another flip, I don't think it's enough time to really determine that. You know what I mean? I think I don't see that. I think it's going to take time for him to adjust, get chemistry with these guys. And I'm not sure, you know, a month and a half is enough time for him to just skyrocket with this team and then flip him. I think he's here. I think he's here for the long term. And Ian Begley also tweeted out that it's likely to assume that they'll keep him long term, which I'm not a fan of. But according to Ian Begley, that's a possibility of them re-signing him long term.
People are saying that he tweeted out that Rivers
contenders are interested in Rivers. All right.
I didn't see that. Are y'all quote tweeting the fake Woj account?
Yeah, they might have been.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I don't see any of that from somebody tweeting the fake Woj, man. I don't see any of that.
Hold on. Let me get to mine.
I don't see any of that.
Because fake Woj gets everybody.
Fake Woj gets everybody, man.
Yeah, man. Woj did not tweet that. I'm sorry.
Nah, Rose didn't tweet that. All right,
my Woj alerts are on. None of that.
Illa from Canada, what's going on? Illa, how you doing?
Yo, man. I know Tibbs is a win now coach. You know, that's fine. But clearly he ain't developing, man. Look what happened to Kevin Knox. That guy doesn't even have any more minutes. He's never going to see the court.
He's not developing, but he loves RJ.
Gets sent to the G League, traded to the Pistons. Frank, I don't know what the hell's happening with Frank. Iggy, G League. Obi Toppin's minutes aren't anything like promising either. And as long as like Julius Randle is there, he ain't gonna see any minutes, man. Let's be real. And if he's about developing, then he would be giving the youngsters the same minutes as he's been given to RJ Barrett, man. Everything Ashley said about Tibbs is dead on accurate. About his rotations, about his stubbornness, plan B. He don't got no plan B. That guy never did. Whatever you see him doing now, that's all he's going to do. I never liked Tibbs, nor will I ever like him. Sorry, that's just my opinion. There's a reason why he got the boot in Minnesota.
But hold on. What about your guy RJ, man? Your guy RJ's been on fire these past couple of games. I mean, you don't give Tibbs any credit for RJ's development, for the team's overall defensive improvements, for the record that they're in right now? What's going on?
Yeah, listen, like, of course I'm biased against RJ because that's my boy. But listen, man, this is a team sport. And listen, there's a reason Tibbs got the boot in Minnesota. Personally, I think he should have just retired, stayed home, and take his Viagra pills if you want to know the truth.
All right, man, I got to get you up out of here, man. I got to get you. We got to come with some X's and O's type of thing. You're my guy, Ella, but we got to keep it pushing, man. We got to keep it pushing. Woj's article, it's in Woj's article that basically says that Rivers is likely to become a player who could... Yo, Ella be driving the car straight off the cliff. Like not even like a little swerve, JLS. My man is going 100 miles full throttle.
Tied the body in the trunk with
out of there
with the rocks. And
we going hard or going home.
Going
hard or going home.
That's not quite the direction I thought that.
I thought he
was going to say he's home with his family. vacation,
Yeah.
travel the world. That's not quite where I thought
That's
that
not
was
where I
going.
thought it was going, man. But in Woj's article, he said that Rivers is likely to become a player whom contenders seeking to trade talks as teams look to fortify backcourts. All right, whatever. I mean, get a second-round pick back.
Get a
Okay,
pick back,
fine.
yeah.
All right, not a big deal.
Yo, they wild in Canada, man. Like, y'all got free health.
Oh my God!
Like straight bugged out. Like y'all got free healthcare. You should be chilling.
Facts.
Relax.
Let's go to the LES. What's going on, bro?
Peace. What's going on? This is Lyston from Lower East Side. First and foremost, man, I want to salute all of y'all, man. JLs, TP, y'all incredible analysis of the games and all that, man. Actually, you are a gem. Just the way that you are able to not only analyze, but the way that you make references to other things. Salute to y'all. You know what I mean?
Appreciate
And
it,
I
bro.
definitely but anyway, let me get into what I wanted to say. So in regards to Tiz, yes, he is very stubborn. The greatest coaches understand that you always need to switch up, and as Bruce Lee said, be the water. The one thing that, for the most part, Phil Jackson always got that great title. I never felt he was great. He ran the system and had great players. When you run in the system, but you don't have the clientele or you don't have the personnel to make that system work, then that's when you need to switch up. Right now, the Rose trade, I will say, is great just because it gives Quickly a little bit more mentorship, and it also allows Quickly to move to the 2 where he can now be a switch-up guard.
I like it.
Who's to say that Peyton is not out there? You know, maybe he's being showcased right now. Maybe we're looking to trade him. And as the big Woj breaking news of Austin Rivers being sorted out by other teams, it is possible. So the season is still early. For the most part, a lot of these players may very well not be here by the trade deadline or by the end of the season. So truth is, a Rose pickup is great. We gave up DSJ, who was dormant, and bumming it out. You know what I mean? All due respect to him. And the second round pick that we would have picked and more than likely sent somewhere else. It's a great pickup. It's a expiring contract, and if we ever got to move him, we can move him, or we can sign him for the vet minimum for that mentorship. So I say all that to say, salute to y'all. Oh, Randall and Toppin. Yeah. Toppin is also an IQ situation. They have played less than 40 games. These kids are not NBA ready, not only by play, but also by stamina. They're still learning the game, and Toppin is coming off an injury. So truth of the matter is, yes, he's very stubborn, and Tibbs needs to learn how to coach this current team. But at the same time, a lot of what he's doing does make sense. Peyton got to be out of here soon. You know what I mean? And until we see that, right now, Rose and IQ playing the 1 and the 2, I love it. You know what I mean? Because right now, Bullock having this game, that right there, he should be up in the rafters right now, and they should just straight up just put his jersey up and let him rest for the rest of the season. He's not going to have a game like that again. But with all that being said, I would love to have y'all on my podcast, and whenever, you guys can check in your IGs and all that. Salute to y'all, man. I love what y'all doing.
Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you, bro. And thanks for the compliment. Hey, listen, let's just wait and see how it plays out. Like I said with the Rose thing. And I think there's value in having IQ in more off-ball situations. I just think so, JL. So I love him as a floor general as well, but I think there's value in having him in off-ball situations.
No, I'm not saying there isn't. I'm not saying there isn't value in having off-ball. I'm just saying I still need him on ball because we have 2 guards. We have 0 point guards who can shoot.
Yeah,
0.
That's a fact.
So if you move him to the 2, then we still at 0. You know what I mean? That's really what it is. Like I know there's value because especially if they're trying to pressure him, and you have another guard. I feel like the value is if they're trying to pressure him and you have another shooter at a point guard position. Then there's value there.
I agree.
But since we don't have another shooter at the point guard position, then
I'm just thinking at least if it's Rose in there and an ice cold Rivers, you get a guy who's more decisive, who's gonna still attack and finish better, I still think, than a Rivers or even a Peyton.
Well,
and just be a bit more decisive. And again, maybe that's a trickle down effect on Obi. And once D Rose gets into that paint, collapses things. Who knows? And a better decision maker in that spot. That's why I want to see how it plays out.
Yeah, well, Derrick Rose just has to finish better because he's finishing 46% at the rim versus Elfrid Payton, who's finishing at 50%. So he's going to have to finish better.
Okay. So, fair enough. All right, let's go to the closer, man, because this game's about to start soon. We got to go. It's Sunday. It's only right. Jay Boogie from North Carolina, take the stage. You got to wait for him to, get the guidelines going. It's a little delayed.
What's going on with the team, man? The whole KnicksFanTV, the whole wave, everybody that's tuning in, everybody that's in orange and blue repping, and man, shout out to everybody on this Super Bowl Sunday. God bless you all. I hope you continue on washing your hands and protecting yourself, protecting your home, loving your family, man. Do what you got to do because that thing is still out there. You know what I'm saying? That thing is still out there, man. I'm going to start off and I'm going to give Eric his props just a little bit because he did what he's supposed to have done today. Anytime you're a great coach and you got a day to sit back and watch the team that played yesterday, you're supposed to put together the game plan. He was supposed to trap off the whole top of the free throw line so Peyton couldn't penetrate through the 3 seconds. They was pushing him to the sides of the court today. You're supposed to pick up quickly full court from where he like to operate. Either he like to pull or he like to get that high screen and penetrate to the basket. He's supposed to have done all that, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to give him a little bit of his props, but I'm also going to give Tom his props too because what we felt a little like, we ain't lost the game on a revenge game yet. So now Tom got to go make the proper adjustments, just like Eric had the adjustments first, you know what I'm saying? He need to make the proper adjustments so when we play them the next time, he know how to offset anything that Eric know how to do, you know what I'm saying? That's what makes you a great coach, you know what I'm saying? When somebody counter you, you can counter react, you know what I'm saying, and hit them with a blow after they blow, you know what I'm saying? That's what I'm looking for. But today was a playoff matchup, and I'm a little bit upset because this was a game we were supposed to win. The reason why I'm upset because knowing that it's a playoff game, we're trying to hold position in the playoff race, and this is a team that's trying to catch up to it. We were supposed to hit them right in their mouth, and I'm very upset that RJ didn't come to show up. I'm upset that EP didn't come to show up. I'm upset that Mitchell didn't show up, and the starting 10 on that court from the tip-off, we was playing 2 against 5. Them guys did not show up at all completely. If they get almost halfway of what they normally do, we win this game easily. So that's something, you know what I'm saying, that we can critique. We know they're going to feel like they want to handle their business the next game, you know what I'm saying? Because I give Tom his prop. We ain't lost to nobody back-to-back. We the only ones that got the broom, you know what I'm saying? And that little light-skinned boy, Kareem Akbar, the intelligent brother for the bank, guess what? Nino Brown, we about to stab him in his hand and get him up out of there. I'm sick and tired of Rivers. He would have been on that bus to Portland. I told y'all yesterday. Get him up out of here. He is not doing anything on that court. He's over dribbling and he's doing what we call running away from the rim. He playing at the other goal. We playing 6-on-4 when we play when he come in the game. He ain't even on our team no more. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I love this Derrick Rose. I don't know why y'all not seeing about this Derrick Rose, man. What this is going to do? This is get ready to elevate our second unit, man. Not our first unit, our second unit. It gives Tom his option to whether he can take EP out now. You know what I'm saying? And put quickly in that starting lineup because he know he got somebody that can replace quickly with them points coming off the bench, or he can stay the same and keep that grind out first 5 on the floor and come with this speed with IQ, Derrick Rose, and Burks, and with Obi, and now we get ready to move Noel out the way because Taj is coming. He getting in shape, whether y'all see it slowly but surely. So that 5 right there, I'm looking for us to start doing something, getting up and down the court because we're not doing nothing in fast break. We don't get no fast break points, no nothing, man. We need to speed up the pace on teams, you know what I'm saying, that our first unit start beating down and getting them all tired, you know what I'm saying, from playing that rugged basketball. Now you coming with that 5 that can run up and down the court, you know what I'm saying, speeding up and down. That's what I'm looking for, Derrick. We're not looking for the MVP, Derrick, you know what I'm saying? We're looking for somebody that can take control, offset what quickly can do, and can show him face value on the court, what he was learning and what he was saying he heard Damian Lillard tell him, what he heard Lou Williams tell him. He ain't got nobody to learn him nothing about the game on the team because EP is so worried about him taking his spot, so he don't show him nothing. You know what I'm saying? We don't have a big brother guard on our team because all them dudes are veterans. They're not leaders. Them dudes is trying to hold on to a job and a spot and stay in the league themselves. You know what I'm saying? So we needed a leadership to come on this team. And what better leadership is to have somebody that was an MVP player inside this system right now. I said it yesterday. Now what you get ready to do, you get ready to put not Derrick Rose and Kirk Heinrich together. You can put Derrick Rose and IQ together. They can offset from one another. But you know what I'm saying? But now both Derrick is a threat. He's more than a threat than what EP is. Yeah. EP is not a threat, you know what I'm saying? But Derrick is a threat. But then you offset with quickly too. Both of them dudes can, you know what I'm saying, play the 1, the 2, they can operate, and then you go cross-side on the other side of town. You got Burks over there, you know what I'm saying? That was the powerful lineup right there, you know what I'm saying? When we quickly realized that they was trapping him up high late in the game, and he went over the top of that two-man press, and he hit Gibbs at the free throw line, and he turned and he hit Obi on the baseline for the dunk, you know what I'm saying? That's when quickly showed you that he can make those type plays. And I did get upset because Tom took him out right there. When we found that out, but see, when you got veteranship and you find something that's on the court, that that leadership can go to Tom and say, yo, no, don't do that right there. This right here can't work because they overplaying, you know what I'm saying? But nobody is speaking out loud on the court and saying nothing. And that's what we need, somebody that can talk to us on the court or talk to us from the bench and tell quickly what he see and what he don't see, or share with him on the court and tell him what he need to do. This is what we need from this man right here. You know what I'm saying? It's going to speed up our fast break points. We're going to go from probably 18, 20 points, 30 points on the bench to maybe 40, 45 points on the bench with this pace if it go correctly the right way. But we got to give Tom his chance to even, you know what I'm saying,
gotta give him some time,
implement what he's trying to do. You know what I'm saying? This was a Tom Thibodeau's choice. You know what I'm saying? He told the office to go get this guy. This was Tom's move. This wasn't an office move. So right now, they did the drafting and everything in the office, but Tom is telling him what he needs, what he wants, because he want playoffs right now. And I know JL, you was funny about that word, that P word at the beginning. But right now we're in a playoff mode, man. Top 8, man. And we got to continue on supporting and riding, and so I'm saying, proving differently. I didn't want Tom for this team. I wanted Jerry Stackhouse. It's on file because I know he know how to develop. Or if I didn't get him, I wanted Mark Jackson because I know he was going to know how to develop. But we got Tom Thibodeau. So I had to put down what I want and be happy that I got this man because he's showing us different. He got us in the playoff run right now, and that's what's mattering right now. Everybody's tuning in. He got more people on League Pass just to watch the Knicks than any other year we had since Woodson. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, appreciate the call, man. Only because we gotta wrap the show, man. I want to give him as much time, man. We gotta wrap the show soon, man. But appreciate J Boogie, man. But throw some 5s in the chat for J Boogie.
Sunday,
man.
So you know what that means. The holiest of days.
Church gotta say amen on that, man. Church gotta say
I just want to know, J Boogie, can you put in the chat, like, what do you do in yoga? What kind of breathing exercises?
Yo, my man got
how long can you stay underwater?
My man got stamina.
Are you in the Army?
Are you really
Navy? The Navy? Yeah.
Are you really Aquaman? Let me know. I just feel like he takes one deep breath and he goes,
yo.
Okay, so hear me out.
Yo, JB is the black Aquaman. You right.
It's a fact. That's a fact, man. I love the Nino Brown reference too, man. Salute J Boogie. But yeah, he hit it. You know what I mean? Hopefully we see a dynamic between IQ and D Rose that'll lift the second unit, and that's what we're looking for. JL, let's go ahead and last thoughts or sign out, man. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I was just saying, J Boogie said Tom would start IQ and have Derrick Rose comes off the bench. If that's the plan, I'm on board with that.
That would be fantastic.
I'd be on board with that if that's the plan.
That would be fantastic.
I don't suspect that's the plan, but if that's the plan, I'm cool. All right?
Yeah.
I'm cool. All right. But yeah, so definitely check out youtube.com/NickTime Show for all KOT content. Also, check us out on all social medias as well. Nick of Time Show. The KOT Show on Twitter, Nick of Time Show on Instagram and Facebook. Also, listen to us on all audio podcasts. That is SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, and Stitcher. And yeah, check out the ball too at nicktimeshow.com. Get some merch, read some blogs from my guys. And yeah, that's it. That's all. Back to you, Ash and CP.
Yes, sir.
As usual, guys, you can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Ashley Nicole Moss. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, All In with Ashley Nicole. And let me know who you guys have in the Super Bowl today. Hashtag Chiefs or hashtag
Who are you going with?
Bucks. I almost said Patriots. I learned the hard way about betting against Tom Brady. So I'm going to go with the Bucks, and they're going to win 38-32. Yeah. So let me know what you guys got. I'm curious to see what the chat thinks is going to transpire.
Facts. And you know why Tom Brady's going to win? Because he got a former New York Giant and Jason Pierre-Paul leading that Tampa Bay defense. That's going to lead them to victory at home. I'm going Tampa Bay 32-27 Chiefs. It's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be a good game, man. And I like the Chiefs. I love Mahomes, but I'm going with JPP, man. And since Brady's not playing the Giants, I'll let him win another ring. He's the greatest anyway, so salute to him. And salute to everybody in the chat, man. Tough loss. Knicks fall 109-103 to the Miami Heat. Bounce back game on Tuesday, though. We got to clap back and get a victory. Remember, this show's available in audio podcast format, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, all major platforms of the Knicks Fan TV. So no reason to miss it if you missed the live shows. You can catch it on basically anything. So remember to get your snaps in store now. Get your Knicks Fan TV snapbacks for sure. And Ash, you're gonna be at the Miami game on Tuesday, right?
I am, so I'll make sure to post a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff.
Live coverage.
Yeah.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
I'm gonna bring all that New York energy. Don't worry.
Yeah, you better let them know, man. Let them know. Some more super.
I see you, Pat. I ain't forget about the Fox. Screw you.
That's a fact, man. Salute to Alan Berman. He says, salute, would love to know whether Detroit preferred DSJ or if we held tough on Frank. If we did, why? No way we stifle a potential rookie of the year for bum-ass Peyton. IQ will continue to earn his time. Larry Israel says, remember these... I think another thing people need remember these... He says, remember these wins when generational franchise game-changing talent goes elsewhere. Playoffs is fool's gold. Priority must be developing and building. So Larry wants to focus on the eye on the prize. Paul Robinson, this man Rose is not better than Peyton. The only thing he has over Peyton is a mid-range. Peyton is better on the paint and better on D. Ari, you're talking about culture with D Rose, but you're not keeping Randall. Say less. Ooh, let's call that Ari. But I think D Rose is still better than Peyton. Larry says D-Rose is subtraction by addition. Can't play with IQ too small, no defense. Will Gramotes, Woj articles, says Rivers is going to be out the rotation, could be traded by March 25th. Blood of the Panther, Obi will be fine. Tips' system is about the next man up. With Julius taking him under his wing, Obi said he did. He will be ready when his time comes. Larry Israel again says quickly played 17 minutes. He did not close. I thought he did. Wasn't quickly closing in the final minutes? I thought he did.
Yeah, I mean, he's saying the minutes thing means he didn't close.
Oh, I got it. Got it.
Oh, sorry, guys.
Yeah, I was like, what happened, Jails?
People chat. I didn't pay the bill. Help.
We got to pay your light bill, God.
You didn't pay Con Anderson? What happened?
Respect Shaq says we're going to trade Rivers to a contender and Frank Knox and either Victor or Levine. I don't see that. Lawrence Reimer says the Tibbs hate makes zero sense. We won 11 games with a crap rebuilding roster. Go look at the Wizards roster versus Knicks roster. Enough said. Young Simba says Rose can make a layup. He's a bona fide scorer. Quick was SEC Player of the Year as an off-ball player. If I have to watch Alfred T-Rex arm another layup, I'm going to go nuts. Samir Soriano, Ashley J. Elson, other fans need to realize correlation equals causation. These patterns you see are based on your bias. You don't know how D-Rose will be used. Jesse Canova says, anyone mention the D-Rose Calipari mentioned Memphis connection? Yeah, I guess it's there if you want to kind of connect it to the Kentucky stuff. But either way, it's D-Rose and Tibbs, man. Tibbs wanted them. Samir says Scorpions aren't self-aware, Ashley. All right. Paul Robinson says, get out of here with that energy stuff. Play RJ with IQ. Hector Pacheco, we need to trade Frank. SK says D-Rose IQ starting guards and Peyton and Frank backup guards. Knox needs to earn his minutes over Bullock. We should start Burks, trade Rivers. Chuck Moss, appreciate it. And Big Surge says Leon playing money ball, addressing a structural weakness in the lineup. Consistent dribble drive. Peyton is inconsistent. It's not Quickly's game. Frank won't do it, and DSJ can't finish. Dribble drives is a Tibbs staple.
The chat said J.Lo's got.
What'd he say?
The chat said Greg Film Stuff said JL's got kidnapped.
Victor Thompson said JL said I'm out. Above the rim, JL is hurry up.
I got kidnapped by a Derrick Rose fan.
Yeah. Facts. Oh man. Yeah, that's it, people. Tuesday night. return match. We want revenge, like Jay Boogie said. Ashley Nicole live on location. Check her out on Instagram, Ashley Nicole Malls. Check out the Knicks Fan TV